Hey Andra, I have started the
Hi.
recording, and so as for this mock LLD mock, so this is the first mock, and I would be uploading on YouTube also. So if you have any
Sure.
concern, Andra, please let me know in this one minute itself.
No, no, I'm okay with it.
Sure. Let's start with our main LLD question today. And before that,
Sure.
Andra, can you just give a brief introduction about to like those who are watching so that they get to know more about you, like your experience and all?
Sure. So currently, Shreyans, I'm holding experience of 4 years, all with Qualcomm. So in Qualcomm, mostly I'm working in the embedded technology.
Okay.
And so my primary reason of switching the job is basically the domain change. So as you know that it currently my domain is in embedded system, right? So basically it mainly focuses on the low level design, basically low level the system and the
Correct.
hardware interaction, all such things.
Got it.
So that is my experience, but now I wanted to pursue other opportunities also, where the software
Got it.
development is kind of done.
Got it.
So yeah.
So, Andhra, are you familiar with, so when you said that embedded engineering,
Right.
right? So,
Right.
do you have exposure to OOPS programming languages, or you have exposure to OOPS
Yes.
designs?
Right. So basically, yeah, my experience is totally on embedded. I totally understand. But when we talk about the OOPS programming languages, that is Java and C++, so mostly I mean, I have done my projects in Java and C++ as well. And I am from a computer science background.
Okay, so
So that is the backbone of computer science.
yeah,
OOPS is the backbone of
back,
computer science,
got
right?
it.
So
Okay,
that's the reason I have the understanding of OOPS as well.
got
Yeah.
it, got it. Yeah, I am
Okay.
able to see your screen. So, can you a little bit zoom in, please?
Sure.
Yeah, yeah, that would be better. So the
Okay.
question is, so this is an NLD interview, low level design interview, and so
Right.
excuse me guys, so because of my voice, so I have a running nose, so my voice might not be much clear, and Antra to you too. Like if
Sure.
you find any question is not clear, please feel free to ask again. I would be happy to explain again. So the question is design the meeting scheduler, right? So let's say we are in office and we wanted to schedule a meeting, right?
Right.
So
Right.
what is the requirement? Requirement is there are n given meeting rooms, right? So there are
Okay.
n meeting rooms, and out
Okay.
of that n meeting rooms, I want to book a meeting in any of the room, right?
Right.
All I interested in, like if based on the capacity and the time interval,
Right.
start time and end time, if any room is available I should be able to book it, right?
Got it. Got it.
And once
Got
I
it.
am able to book it, what is the third requirement? Send notification to all the person who are invited to the meeting,
Yes.
right? So that is
Right.
the third requirement, and the another is you can use the meeting, so every meeting room, you can say that has a calendar,
Okay.
okay, so that you can use that to know that during that interval that room is free or not free, so that
Okay.
you can use this information. So that's why I mentioned use meeting room calendar to track the
Right.
meeting date and time.
Got it.
Yeah. Please feel free to go through it and clarify your doubts, and yeah, that's the
Sure.
question we have for today, low level design. Good luck.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Shreyans. So, to begin with, right? So, basically, there are N meeting rooms, and we understand that the capacity of all the meetings room will be different. So, basically, one meeting room might have the capacity of 4%, the other one might have capacity of 8%, like that it will be, or all the meeting room will have the same capacity.
No, each room will have a different capacity. Consider
Okay.
this.
Got it. Got it. Okay. fine. So in that case, what we have to do, we again have to check the meeting room capacity for my for my given meeting, basically, whether it matches. So there will be two conditions. One, the meeting room should be available, and it should be, I mean, the number of person that I want in my meeting should be less than my capacity.
Less than
Okay.
equals to your capacity. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, less than equal to, correct. Okay. So I think first thing is I'm gonna need a meeting room, and I'm gonna need, so basically in the meeting room I will have a boolean flag which says is my room available.
Mm-hmm.
That is the thing. And the
Okay,
second,
let's jump into the like what's the structure of the class. So let's first find out the what are all the entities which we have. Right? So
all the
yeah,
classes.
let's say as you said, one meeting room is one entity. What all other entities you see in this?
Okay, okay, cool. So other entities, there will be a meeting room calendar. Meeting room. Okay. So, in order to book the meeting, I also want to, create a class called meeting scheduler,
Okay,
which will actually schedule the meetings.
okay,
Uh, and the other one is send notification to all the person who are invited to the meeting. So here we have to send the notification.
okay. So Andra, I'll give you one thing. Like before we start, like just
Okay,
try to consider the flow first, right? Just
okay,
assume you are the one who are setting up the meeting, right?
okay,
So let's go start like try to first write a let's remove this class, let's say first now the class meeting
okay,
room till meeting room you just remove it. So what I
okay,
want you to do is first is uh, go start to the end flow. Just tell me each you can say that yeah, after this will happen, after this will happen, or you can say
okay,
that tell me each flow. And
okay,
once we know that okay this is the flow correctly, and then we will
right,
identify the classes out of it. Okay,
okay.
first clarify me
So,
the flow.
okay. So first thing comes, the first thing starts with the user, right? Who wants to book
Okay,
who wants to book the meeting.
okay, so we have a
So
user who wants to book the meeting.
yes,
Okay,
right. So user will have the requirement of booking the meeting. So user will know that I want to book the meeting for, let's say, 5 persons,
correct.
and it will have the meeting
And end
uh,
time, yeah,
start time, meeting end time.
correct.
And as we are only booking the meeting for the next day, okay, maybe we will need the day also.
No, let's keep it simple. Let's for it's
Okay,
today itself. So that's fine.
okay, 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 cool. So, okay, so user will have this requirement. Now, user will ask the meeting scheduler.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that like if it is a Microsoft team or whatever
Correct,
is the
correct.
scheduler.
Yeah.
So user will ask meeting scheduler to book a meeting. So basically here will the meeting scheduler should be able to check the available rooms.
Okay. So let's further drill down on to the step two. So let's
Okay,
go 2.1. So what
Okay.
is the first step inside this?
Okay.
Yeah, like that.
So, okay. So, the meeting scheduler will check uh, will check for all available rooms, right? It will check
Correct.
all available rooms for a particular
Correct.
start and end time, and it should also, I mean, start time, end time, and the capacity of a room
Correct.
and capacity. So so in step 2.1, the meeting scheduler will check the requirement, and it will give us the meeting room.
So can you
Let's say,
just write it's a get call, kind of it's a fetch call. So
right.
2.1 is a get call
So
and
get
return would be the list of rooms available.
get meeting room,
Correct.
right? Yes. So
So it's a get meeting rooms
list
and it
of
would be a list of meeting rooms.
meeting rooms,
Okay,
right, right.
cool. So 2.1 is like
So,
first the user got the requirement. Now user call the get me a meeting rooms with
right.
this whatever the requirement he has and he got a list of meeting rooms. Now what will happen?
Probably, yeah, probably for the requirement, we can have a, object which will encapsulate all the requirements, basically the start time, the end time, and the capacity.
Okay.
That is our requirement. Right now, I'm just putting it like this. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, that's okay. Let's go to the second step.
Sure. So now the user will have the list of requirement. Now it can choose. The user can choose as per his. I mean, I don't think there will be any. What do we say? User can basically choose any room from the given list of
Correct,
meeting
correct.
rooms, right?
Any room, and the
So
second step is book the room, kind of the
right,
one.
right. So book the meeting room. So once the meeting room is kind of booked, in maybe step 2.3, we need to mark the availability. Like now the meeting room is no longer available for
Correct,
that start and end time.
correct.
So block the meeting room.
Yeah,
Block the meeting room. And maybe step point 4 2.4, or let me not put it 2.4, let me put it step 3. So now we want to send the notification to all the invited
okay.
people.
Yeah,
So user sends notification to all invited people,
correct.
person. So for this also, maybe we can write a send notification bolke.
Okay.
Send notification.
Yeah. So this flow is correct. Like user comes in, search for the room, book the room,
Right.
and then send the notification. Now in this flow, what all
Right.
classes, what all entity you see? Can you just list down instead of just putting class and then the name? Can you just show the list of objects you are seeing here? Now in the next line, just with comma separated,
Sure.
just can you tell me what
Sure.
all the entities you are
Sure.
seeing?
Sure. So one thing is the user.
Right.
Second is the meeting.
Second, what? Okay, what does meeting will have? What is meeting?
Huh.
What?
Meeting will have my like start time
Okay,
and end time and meeting room.
correct, correct. So means you actually jump to the 2.2 step, book the meeting room. After booking, that's what the meeting will set up, right? So this is what you mean by right meeting.
Yes, yes, yes,
Correct. So
yes,
it
yes,
actually
yes.
you are telling 2.2 step. Okay.
Okay.
What all entities you see?
Okay. Mm, meeting start, meeting end. And maybe we can have a something called meeting requirement.
Meeting
Require-
requirement is an entity. What does the property of an entity?
Yeah. So it will have the start time, end time, and capacity.
No. So Andhra,
Okay.
When you are saying meeting requirement is an entity, right?
Okay. Yes.
So you know, right, a class is generally we create an object of it, right?
Right.
So object
Right.
should have two properties. It should have a
Okay.
behavior, it should have a function,
Right.
right?
Okay.
So meeting requirements, when you're saying that 5%, so this doesn't qualify for an object actually.
Okay.
Okay, or I would say that you are trying to say it's not a meeting requirement, is might be a wrong name, or you mean to say that input request kind of, what would be the
Yes, 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 yes. See, my reason for putting it as a class was just to encapsulate everything in a single input, basically.
okay.
I mean, single object,
So
basically.
let's try to avoid this meeting
Okay.
requirement for now. Okay.
Okay. Sure. Sure.
So
Sure.
yeah. So let's remove the meeting requirement. Yeah.
Okay.
What else object
Now,
you see? Let's first focus on the core objects which we have. So yeah, like
okay.
user is a core object, meeting is a core object. What
Right.
are core objects which we have?
Okay. Now there will be one meeting scheduler, we can say,
Yes.
which will actually schedule the meeting.
Yes. Right.
Meeting scheduler will be there, and then book the meeting that we already did. Blocking of the meeting, that will also be done. So I think step one and step two is done. Now we can go to step three.
Okay.
So in step three, we have
No, how come
users.
step two is completed? So you currently missing the main kind of the requirement of our question actually. What we are trying to book actually?
We are trying to book the meeting here.
Meeting room.
Meeting room,
So
yes.
where is the meeting room object?
Okay, okay, okay. Right,
So
right,
let's
right.
add the our core object meeting room.
Right, right, right.
Correct. What else which we needed?
Meeting room object will be there. Hmm. Yeah, now we want to send the notification to all the invited person.
Correct.
So, okay. For that, maybe we can write a notifier kind of a thing.
Yeah, let's call that
Which
class notification for now.
Sure. Notification. Okay. Uh, I think core objects, we are done with the core objects, I think.
You think are we missing something else? Any more objects finding? Just look at our requirement one more time. Do you think
Okay.
any requirement left out? So first is there are
So,
n given meeting
n,
rooms. So
n
meeting
given
rooms is
meeting rooms.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the
Notification you have
question,
covered. Book a
so,
meeting. So meeting is you have covered. What about the last one?
yes, yes, yes. Use the meeting room calendar to track the meeting date and time for the current day. Okay. So, okay. So we need a meeting room calendar. So, okay. So maybe we can create a meeting room calendar object,
Yeah.
meeting room calendar object, which will actually track the meetings for a, a, uh for a day for a particular meeting room.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
So the meeting room. So one thing is maybe we can have the ID of meeting room. So it could be mentioned as ID or location of meeting room. Anything would be fine. But in our case, as we have n meeting room, we can specify each meeting room with a number.
Right. Okay. So ID is okay.
Oh, okay. So other than that, what we have is meeting capacity,
Capacity, right?
right? Uh, okay. What else we have for the meeting room?
We can have location, but we can skip location for now, let's say.
Yeah,
But location can
yeah,
itself be a separate object also,
correct.
right? So but for now, let's say it has some address to it. Let's this floor, this building number, something something.
Okay.
I'm just giving a hint that location is something also can be added, but yeah.
Can be added as a
Yeah,
object,
so
yes.
that's all meeting room has. Okay.
Okay. So the meeting. So the meeting will basically have the start time, uh, end time, and the capacity of meeting basically.
So
Okay.
Andhra, we are past 30 minutes, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
since this is the first mock, right? So what I will do is I will work with you now, right?
Okay.
Then
Okay.
I will share the feedback later on. Like so now, let me share my screen and let's we try to build together. Okay, so let's go with what we are trying to do is we are trying to LLD of meeting
Meeting
scheduler.
room.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what you have to do is like first comes the user. So
Right.
user, as you said, user comes to a particular scheduler app,
Right.
right? And in the scheduler app, you will give like I have this my capacity,
Right.
right? And this
Right.
is the time start and time
Mm-hmm.
end.
Mm-hmm.
Try to and what the scheduler will do is it will return the rooms,
Right.
room n.
Right.
The user will select a particular room, and what will happen is it will try to book it, or when we say that book it, we will say that the meeting will set up,
Right.
right? The meeting
Mhm.
will set up, and once the meeting will set up, it will send the notification.
Right.
So after this, we can clarify from the interviewer that the flow is complete, right, or
Okay.
anything else is missing.
Okay.
Now from this one, what all the objects I can see? First I can see is user. Second
Right.
I can see is that, as you said, meeting scheduler,
Right.
right? Third object which I can see is meeting rooms.
Right.
Fourth I can see is meeting.
Yes.
Then I can see notification.
Yes.
And another thing which is missing, which we haven't discussed, is like a time start time event, that is something called calendar. Only for a particular, or I would say the room calendar.
Okay.
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 So these are the
Okay.
objects which we see.
Right.
Now, okay. So here, you able to see, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm able to see.
So the first thing is, let's say I will create a meeting room,
Right.
right? So meeting room is, as you said, it will have an ID,
Yes.
right? It will have some location object,
Yes.
right? And what does meeting will have is its capacity.
Yes.
No, that's the basic room information which will have. It doesn't have any smarter knowledge. What is the calendar and all? Meeting room is a dumb object.
Yes.
Consider it as a dumb object, and location is one object which it has a relationship. So it is a location. Like
Okay.
what is the floor number,
Like
building
the
number,
complete address we can
yeah,
store.
so that a person can
Or
reach to that meeting room exactly,
right.
right?
Right.
Now there will be not one room, there would be n. So they said, right, n meeting rooms. So somebody
Yes.
should be there who will manage the n meeting rooms, right? So
Right.
let's
Right.
say, as you said, let's take meeting room manager.
Right.
So what it will have list of meeting
Meeting
rooms,
rooms.
it will have all the list of meeting rooms. So it has,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
let's say I want to add a meeting room, so it will create, it will hold the CRUD APIs, so create meeting room and it will append to the list, right? So this will host all the APIs for this one, right? So for now, let's
Okay.
say we have this,
Okay.
okay?
Okay.
And what all the info, so this is one basic room controller. So let's say I can create a, now what I can do is I can create a room, I can delete a room, I can update the capacity of a room, that's all I can do. But
Right.
what was my first requirement is get all the rooms for a particular capacity with the particular time interval,
Right.
right? So that's
Right.
where now I have need something called calendar, something
Okay.
called calendar. And let's
Right.
say I have time interval. Time interval will have, let's say, it has some day information, what
Hmm.
day,
Hmm.
and what is the time start is interval, start and end interval. And day is my enum. You can say that Monday to Sunday,
Right.
right? What will
Right.
calendar will have? Calendar will have a list of time interval, correct?
Okay.
So my calendar will hold the list of time interval. Okay, uh, we can say that
So
okay, it's always have 1 1 hour time interval. So it will have 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. So what all the time intervals it currently has,
right.
right?
So apart from time interval,
Mm-hmm.
we should also have a like for a particular meeting room at a particular time interval, whether the meeting room is available or not.
Correct.
So
So now that's where the I if you said is starting I told you that meeting room calendar, right?
hmm.
So it's a
Yes.
meeting room calendar. So means room and calendar are one to one relationship,
Right.
right?
Right.
And
Right. Right.
meeting room should not be bothered. So what will happen is generally if you create a calendar object here inside meeting room,
Right.
meeting room is considered as a dumb object, right? So it doesn't take care of responsibility of updating the calendar, removing the interval. It's a meeting room, right? So
Right.
there should be some manager. So we can add this information here also, that not list, I would say that it would be something like a map of room
Hmm.
comma calendar.
Calendar. Correct.
So what it happen is for a particular room, what is the calendar object? So it has the calendar information. So for each room has a calendar information. So
Right.
this is the time interval, which is you can say that booked all the busy, like this time intervals are of busy time interval. So we can give it a name like booked interval, something like that.
Okay.
And whenever any particular interval is booked for a particular room, we will append into this list.
Yes.
Right? Make sense?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
So now let's go to our first question was find out get all meeting rooms with capacity and interval. Right? So
Yes.
can we, if we hold this get all, so this is my get all rooms, or I would say the get all rooms. The first method I would say that check availability, check availability method. So now let's say my meeting scheduler.
Yes.
So I have a meeting scheduler.
Yes.
So my meeting scheduler has meeting room manager for sure. So I
Yes.
have meeting room manager.
Yes.
So it has.
Hmm.
So first of all is get all rooms. So it will call this check availability API, and it will pass the capacity comma the interval, right? Then what it will do is it will have a list of room. From the list of room, it will take out based on the capacity. It will get out okay, R1, R2, R7, and R8 is the capacity holding. But now
Right.
it user also wanted an interval. So now for this particular room, like for all, each room I will check a calendar. I'll have his calendar information.
Right.
And now from the calendar information I can check, is this the slot booked, start and end,
Hmm.
right? And from that I can
Yes.
filter out, okay, this is not available, this is not available, and I can return only R1 and R8 to the user.
Right.
Okay, so
Okay.
but few things is, this design is not yet completed also, right? So
Yeah.
I can take out a separate complete video for this design itself, but all I
Right.
wanted to show is like how first take out the methods which we wanted as per the requirement which has given to us.
Right.
So I give you three requirement. First is get me all the available rooms. Second is
Yes.
book,
Book
and
a
third is send
particular meeting.
notification might be.
Yes.
Now you have to say that, okay, let's focus on the first one, right? So first one, now I have shown you with the example itself, like first one would work.
Right.
Now the second part is left, but second part can easily be handled. Like we
Yes.
have the similar thing. Once you have done with the one flow, right, other flow would be very simple. We have
Right.
come up with a meeting. Now there can be many meetings, so we need some meeting managers also,
Yes.
right? With that way, it would be very easy,
Yes.
right? So yeah, the whole design of this meeting scheduler I will keep it for this one, but for this interview purpose I can now share the feedback for you, right?
Sure.
And I have given you the basic of this design, like how you should proceed with the interview, right?
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
always get little bit difficult with the uh, text editor, this low level design creating, so that's why.
Okay.
So
Okay.
first of all, Antra, the one which I wanted is the object name which you are taking is not kind of a standard form. So
Okay.
you are defining a class meeting room. So M
Yeah.
you are taking is smaller. Class name should
Yeah.
always be start with the capital. So
Yes. Yes.
always write like you are writing a the presentable code to the
Okay.
interviewer. Okay.
Okay.
Second thing which is missed in the LLD is like the flow, right?
Okay.
Like in the DSA interview coding question, what we have is like first analyze.
Yes.
In the LLD, it's an equivalent, identify the flow, right?
Right.
Try to come up with a flow which interviewer also said, yes, this flow only we are wanted with the LLD, right?
Okay.
So the flow was the
Clarify the
missing,
flow.
yeah, right?
Yeah.
So if you see that the question which I gave you, you directly started with the classes making, right? So
Yeah.
first you have to come up with the flow that, okay, you this flow, are we both are on the same page or not,
Okay.
right?
Got it.
So first
Got
come
it.
up with the flow, then on the basis when you are defining the flow, come up all the methods.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the flow. First user will search, so there will be one get API, right?
Right.
Then user will book, there will be one post API for booking. Then user
Right.
will send. So try to come up all the methods. This is very important. Try to come up all the methods in the while defining the flow itself, so that
Right.
when you will construct the LLD, right, you will know exactly what method you have to put, and try to avoid the method like creation of an object, creation of a meeting room, like you were doing. If you remember,
Constructors
yeah,
basically.
constructor, it's not required in the LLD interview actually,
Okay.
right? So LLD is mostly like stick to the requirements, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
come up with all the methods which you wanted, and with that method only just say that, okay, meeting class. So in meeting we wanted to, let's say, set up a meeting, so there will be one, I will put one post API here, create meeting, something like that.
Right.
Okay, so that is another thing. Okay, and the third thing is give time to the entities identification. So if you think that you forget the major entity which is the meeting room, right, which we are trying to book. So if you forget the major object, then definitely when you will come to the design, right, later point you have to come back again, because it
Yeah.
design will not get completed without that object. So you
Right.
have to come back, and otherwise, or if you spend 10 minutes designing and then suddenly you said, okay, you forgot the major object itself, now you have to fit in what you have already done with the 10 minutes. So now you are fitting into it, so it will
Right.
definitely will not work out, right? So if
Yeah.
you see that meeting, everything is revolving around meeting room,
Right.
right? If we later put, if you have built something and later we will fit meeting room into it, it will not work. You have to change a lot of things. So first discuss all the entities with the interviewer and say that okay, is something messed up before even jumping into the code,
Sure,
right?
sure, sure.
And another thing is the variable names which you are taking. So I saw that in the meeting object you take a list of user and you given the name ls, right?
Yeah,
So this is similar like in coding we write dsa coding, right? So similarly here also we are writing, but it's an oops, right,
yeah,
concept we are
yeah.
writing, so it's still a coding, right? It's not algorithm, it's not dsa, but it's still a coding, right? So
Naming
the
could have
naming
been better.
convention,
Yeah,
clarity, coding standard should be maintained,
yeah.
right? And yes, that's pretty much from my side, Antra. So I want, I just gave you a very high level of this meeting scheduler design, right? So
Yeah,
what I just shared, I won't
yeah,
say that it's completed because I haven't spent much time.
yeah.
So just take it as a sample, like, or you can enhance it, you can improve it. There, I can definitely say there will be a lot of space for improvement. But all
Sure.
I wanted to you is like, by just giving feedback might not give you a complete clarity like how will I will approach. So that's why I wanted to, because this is the first LLD, I want to give like, go with this way.
Right.
And you also might have an interview in near future, so I want you like go with this, consider this as a sample which you can work on. And I
Yeah,
want you
yeah,
to
yeah.
give me the complete, do in copy pen and share the photo and the complete one based on this one.
Sure, sure, sure. I'll definitely work on this design and I'll definitely try to improve it. And maybe I'll try to, write all the methods also. So
Yeah.
that way I'll understand maybe something more if I am missing.
Sure, sure. Thanks.
Yeah.
So, really sorry, like, I have a running nose and a little
No,
bit
no,
cold,
no
so I
problem.
might not be able to clarify my question or this thing. So, if you faced any issue understanding my question, or so,
No, no,
really
no.
sorry for that.
I must say that the question wise and the clarity wise, you were really good.
Okay,
And yeah, that was not at all any problem
cool.
from your end. Yeah.
Sure. Okay, Antra, good luck